Hello. This is the Q&A video you've been waiting for. So some of you would recall that some days back, I put out a post on my community page here on YouTube, but also on Instagram, asking you to send me those questions you have about migrating, studying, living, working here in Australia. And a lot of you came through. So this is the video where I get to answer those questions. I am going to remind you once again that I am not a migration agent, okay? So a lot of my answers are going to be based on either my personal experience or my little research, okay? It's still your responsibility to verify every single information I share with you in this video. By the way, my name is Chioma. Just in case you're stopping by here for the first time and you've never seen my face, you're most welcome here. I would encourage everybody to please take a moment to give this video a thumbs up, and if you want to join the family, you're most welcome. All you need to do is subscribe. Now, before I say anything else, there's something else that I also want to get out of the way very quickly. So if you are not connecting with me here on YouTube in the comment section, the only other place that I encourage people to reach out to me would be on Instagram, okay? I don't even respond to my emails anymore, just my Instagram if you have any personal inquiries for me. So if anyone is asking you to go to a WhatsApp account, a Telegram account, or any other account apart from these two, but most importantly, if they're asking you for any kind of payment, it is not me. If anything changes in future and I decide to offer a paid service, I am going to announce it here. Please be careful online. Let me start off with the questions that I got on my community page because these ones responded first. And I will see how I go in this video. If I am not able to address every question in this video, then there's going to be a part 2. The first question I have here is from Dami Rachel, and Dami, you said, as an international student, which driver's license is best to come with? International driver's license or national driver's license? This answer is based on my own experience, okay? I don't know if things have changed since then, but when I was studying here, I had my Nigerian driver's license and it was okay for me to use that for the duration of my studies. So the entire time that I was studying here, I was using my Nigerian driver's license, and I did get pulled over a few times by the police. They did check my license and it was fine. I didn't get into any kind of trouble for using it. So as long as your international driver's license or your national license from your country is still valid, so it's not expired, I believe you can still use it. However, when you switch into a permanent residency visa, then there is a very strict requirement for you to convert your international license to an Australian one or get an Australian driver's license, and you have to do it within 3 months after you become a permanent resident, and that actually is strictly enforced. But I don't know if this is different in other states because different states here in Australia just do their own thing. The next question is from Brian. Your question is, hello, thank you so much for all you do for the sake of uplifting people and towards obtaining better living standards. Are you kindly open to discussing with a recruitment agency in Uganda here where they can access labor and you partner with them to locate employment for the labor sourced? In simple terms, partnership with a registered overseas recruitment agency, in particular Uganda. Thank you. Okay, Brian, unfortunately, I am not able to help with this because like I mentioned earlier, I am not a recruitment agent. I am not a migration agent. I do not have any kind of connection into those sorts of things because I'm just an ordinary person making YouTube videos, okay, sharing my knowledge on YouTube. I do not offer any kind of recruitment services, so I am not able to help with this, Brian. The next question is from Rodriguez. I know your content is exclusively for people interested to migrate to Australia, but I also consider New Zealand. I assume there are similarities, but would like to know your opinion. My question is about the TAFE courses offered in Australia. Is there a similar system in New Zealand? Unfortunately, I don't know. I know that there's a lot of common ground between Australia and New Zealand. These are like very tight sister nations. It would appear that they do everything together or that they have similar systems and everything. However, I have really not taken the time to know about how far those similarities go. So in terms of the education system over in New Zealand, I really do not have any knowledge of what's happening there. So I don't know whether they have TAFE courses just like Australia. You would have to do your own research on that, unfortunately. The next question is from Denny L. Denny, you said, "Hi Chioma, is it possible to migrate in Australia and take an educational level different from before education? Such as, in origin country, I already finished undergraduate and I migrate in Australia and take a diploma course, which is a downgrade level of education. Thank you." Well, Danielle, I am happy you raised this because I do get some inquiries regarding this. I would just say very honestly that applying to come study towards a lower qualification from what you already hold is a bit of a red flag immigration wise. Additionally, sorry, because in this case you're talking about coming in to study a diploma. Diplomas on their own are at a higher risk level in relation to the student visa application. I don't know why diplomas have such a high risk standing. Now, it doesn't mean that every single person who applies to study towards a lower qualification will have their visa application rejected. That's not what I am saying. I'm just saying that you would have to do more work to convince the visa officer about the genuineness of your intentions. Okay, so it might mean that you have to submit more documents. Your statement of purpose, your GTE requirements will have to be stronger. But if you want to go ahead, I mean, there's nothing stopping you. The next question is from Luzelle. Pathway from study to PR to citizenship. When you are on your post-study work visa, can you apply for permanent residency? This is an interesting question because here in Australia, there are no specific time requirements in relation to when you can apply for permanent residency. I have said it on my channel here that you can apply from within Australia or from outside of Australia, and you can apply at any time. The key thing is that you identify your occupation on the skills occupation list and that you're able to fulfill all the requirements of that occupation in relation to a skills assessment, but also the visa that you are interested in. So you need to meet all those requirements. Technically, you can apply for it anytime, including when you are on your post-study work visa. The next question is from Ekewuba Ikechuku, and you said, "Hi Chioma, my question is, can my aunt and uncle who are already Australian citizens be my sponsor for the study visa?" And I guess the answer here is yes. What I know is that on the immigration website, there is a definition of approved family members in relation to sponsoring your education. So just make sure that your family members fit within that description, because I know that when we say auntie and uncle as Nigerians, sometimes we use those terms very loosely to include people who are not that closely related to us. But you just need to make sure that your auntie or your uncle in this sense actually fit within that description of approved family members. I believe that for any family members sponsoring your education who are neither your spouse nor your parents, they might have to provide extra documents to prove their relationship with you. They might have to write a sponsorship letter and also provide other evidence to show that they have sponsored you in the past as well and that they are genuine sponsors. However, on your part, as someone correctly highlighted under your comments here, you still have a responsibility to fulfill the GTE requirement. So the GTE is the genuine temporary entrant requirements, and that requirement basically needs you to demonstrate that your intentions to study in Australia are genuine and that you will be heading back to your home country when you're done, and that the student visa is not an opportunity. You're not taking it as an opportunity to come into Australia and refuse to go. So you still have a responsibility to demonstrate that requirement, okay, on your part. But yeah, that's it. Good luck. Next question is from I Am Thanos. So I Am Thanos, you said, how hard is it to find cash in hand jobs? Okay, so this is an interesting question because I am not going to pretend that cash in hand jobs are not a thing in Australia. Yes, I know that there are employers out there who only pay in cash, and there are some people who prefer to receive their money in cash. However, I also know that it is not encouraged. Some people might even say that it is illegal here in Australia to work a cash in hand job or offer someone a cash in hand job, okay, because there is a general understanding that cash in hand jobs are under the radar, which means that there is nothing to track your income, nothing to track your tax remittances through the Australian Taxation Office, and that is why it is not encouraged. So on that note, I do not imagine that cash in hand jobs would be advertised in the same way as other jobs on the usual job websites like Seek, Indeed, Jora, etc. For something that is under the radar, I guess you would just have to rely on word of mouth or word on the streets. So I imagine that it would be something you have to chat to people about. Let me move on to the next question, but just another gentle reminder here to like this video if you haven't already done so, and subscribe as well. Thank you very much. Feel free to share. So next question is from Taku, and Taku, you said, are there work from home entry-level jobs ideal for moms with kids? For instance, data entry jobs. Yes, there are jobs like that, okay, and I believe that you can find some of these jobs on the regular job websites, okay, and make sure that you're using the necessary keywords. So if you're looking for a work from home job, then make sure that you're typing in remote jobs, work from home jobs, that sort of thing when you filter your search results. And then the next question is from Beck Crown Reality, and Beck Crown, you said, please, can I get admission to study social work masters in one region university without IELTS requirements? Since I have my degree in social work in Nigeria University, which is an English-speaking country. Well, Beck, if you had asked me this question in 2016 or 2015, I would have said, yes, it is possible for you to study in a school that does not require IELTS. But since then, things have changed a lot in terms of entry requirements into universities and other higher education providers. And I do know that a lot of universities now have become quite strict on things like the IELTS requirements. And I believe that part of the reason why this is happening is because universities are very sensitive to not losing their ranking or their risk ranking, okay? So universities want to preserve that ranking or improve on that ranking. And part of what they do to achieve that goal or to maintain that goal is to tighten up their entry requirements. And for this reason, a lot of universities are now directing students to apply through their agents, okay? So sometimes these agents are able to waive English language requirements for certain students. But off the top of my head, I can't tell you which universities are doing this. I can't tell you which agents are doing this because unfortunately I'm just no longer in that system anymore. I guess your best bet would be to read up on each university's entry requirements, the ones that you're interested in, and see what they require, or go ahead and have a chat to the approved education agents of those universities and know whether they would waive English language requirements for you. Next question is from Eichmann TV, and Eichmann TV, you said, please, I want to know how to get a girlfriend in Australia. Thank you so much. Well, Eichmann TV, you're a funny guy. By the way, I know Eichmann TV, okay? He has a YouTube channel here as well. He moved from Nigeria to Australia. He has a YouTube channel. And he came in on a scholarship, a fully funded scholarship, and he shares that kind of knowledge and wisdom on his channel. So please go and follow Eichmann TV. I'm going to flash his channel on the screen so that you go follow him, okay? I know that this is a cheeky question, Eichmann, but listen, as I said at the beginning of this video, I am not any kind of agent. And that includes matchmaking agents, okay? I do not find girlfriends or boyfriends or romantic partners for people on my channel. I am not this is not a dating website, okay? But I guess I would give you a traditional answer. Go out there and meet people. Go out and talk to people. Go out and interact with people. If you know the qualities you want in a girlfriend, then look for where you think people with such qualities would hang out. That is my very amateur advice to you. to find a girlfriend, and I hope it works for you. Okay, and I can actually see that your question or your comment has the most likes. So I want to believe that there are other people asking the same questions as well. So there you have my answer. Go out and meet with people. Okay, moving on to the next question from Fayaz Khan. So Fayaz, you said, thanks. I am a professor in medicine in my home country. Can I apply for university lecturer category? Do I have to first clear the medical council's exam or not? I believe that was your question. I don't know. That's my answer, straight up answer. I really do not know. My guess would be that you might have to still clear that exam, but what I would recommend is that you speak to the medical board of Australia and find out what the requirements are. I understand that you're not coming into practice as a medical practitioner, but you want to be in academia. So I don't know whether the rules are different and whether you still need to pass the AMC multi-choice exams, but please talk to the medical board. I believe they would have more answers around this. So thank you for your question. Next question is from Lydia. And Lydia, you said, hi, what are the requirements for dependent visa? Kindly, 2023. Well, it depends on the visa you're looking at. So different visa categories have the subsequent entrance stream, like the student visa, I believe the 186 visa, the 482 visa, there's lots of different visa categories that have the subsequent entrance stream. For the most part, the requirements for dependent families will be very similar to the requirements for the primary visa applicants. Maybe minus a few things. For instance, if we're looking at the student visa, then while the primary visa applicants will have to provide documents related to their course of study, the dependents may not need to provide as many documents because they are not the ones coming in to study, but they will still have to provide things like proof of funds. And then if any of those dependent family members are children of school age, you also need to provide documents to show that they are enrolled in school or that you have enough money to enroll them in school. Okay, so I have made videos about this. I'm going to link a few in the description box, which I would highly encourage you to watch. So that is it for the student visa. And then you also will need to fulfill the GTE requirements as a subsequent entrance on the student visa. Okay, and that's why I said for the most part, the requirements for the dependents will be similar to the requirements for the primary visa applicants. And then for the other classes of visas, for instance, the employer-sponsored visas, I want to believe that some of those documents will also be very similar to that of the primary visa applicants. Okay, you can find out more of this information on the immigration website. So first of all, you need to know what visa you're looking at and then go in there and read up on the requirements for subsequent entrance. Does that make sense? Okay, and then my very last question, which I am going to end this video with only because I don't want it to be too long, will be this question from Isaac Arinze. And Isaac, you said, please, which skills are needed in Australia that can fetch me money? I am using the student visa as a leverage. I have made videos here talking about some of the ways that you can earn money on the side when you're here in Australia, regardless of the visa that you're on. So if you've got any skill that can be monetized, I know that people in IT, for instance, are very good in setting up side hustles that allow them to earn extra money from freelance websites like Upwork, Fiverr, and I guess there's a few others. Okay, so maybe look at those opportunities. I don't know what your skills are. I don't know what skill set you have, but yeah, there's that. And then if you're someone who is good with working with their hands, so if you're very handy, you might also find it easy to set up some kind of business that allows you to work with your hands. People who mow lawns here in Australia, just mowing people's lawns, they make a lot of money. People in the trades, generally speaking, like in the construction industry, they make a lot of money as well. But if you're looking at like setting up a career in the construction industry, I imagine that you will still need the relevant qualifications and licensing as well. But if you just want to pick up extra money on the side, you could be a handyman who does deliveries. So people can buy stuff from IKEA and you deliver it home to them and help them to actually set up the flat packs. That is also something that makes a lot of money, because this is a DIY society. Everybody does things for themselves. And on that note, I am going to end this video here, but I will be coming back with a second part because I had some questions come through Instagram, which I do not have the chance to address in this video. So watch out for a part 2. Before you leave, make sure you have dropped my like, make sure you have subscribed. Okay, well, I'm not forcing you. If you have enjoyed hanging out with me, it would be great if you join the family. Just subscribe, okay? And I will see you again in my next video. Bye-bye.